What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Fourth and Wrong podcast. I am one of your hosts, Marshall, along with Dallas and Donnie. No Colin today. He will not be joining us, unfortunately, but we will still do our normal podcast. It is week 15 of the NFL season. Week 14 has just wrapped up, basically nearing clinching divisions, elimination from playoffs. That's already been happened, but a lot of teams are starting to drop like flies. Some teams are going to get closer and closer to clinching their divisions. A lot of divisions still up in the air. We'll get all of that soon. Covering week 14 and how our picks did. I'll start off with who was in last. It was Donnie.
Oh
at a
no!
whopping 5-9.
Oh,
Yeah, rough
oh.
week. In third,
5-9.
third was me at 8-6.
So now the gap
That gap
doesn't
was
sit between me and you. I think I had a 3-game lead.
We were actually, because I didn't do the total records last week, because I didn't say them last week in the pod. You were one game ahead of me last week.
Oh my god!
So
somebody selling.
the week before that, you did have a 3-game lead. Then I or 2-game lead. Then I took it down to 1, and then
This motherfucker.
so now in second
This shirt.
was Dallas again. This man Colin won another week.
Colin.
Dallas went 9-5. Colin went 11-3.
We should keep track of how many first place finishes because I feel like every single week.
Colin went first place in week 14. He went first place in week 13. Went first place in week 12, week 11, week 10, and then Donnie went first place in week 9. So this man is on a 1, 2,
That was also the week I won.
five streak of first place victories. If this man doesn't join the pod this week, honestly, I might give him -1 point for just not being here, just so we can play it closer. But
That shit ends today. I'm picking up the slack.
But going into it, yeah, overall records, Colin takes the lead. Well, he's had the lead, but he furthers his lead of 139-69. Dallas is at 131-77, 8 games behind first place. I am in third at 120-88, and Donnie is behind me at 118-90. So 2 games separate me and Donnie, 11 games separate me and Dallas, and 21 games separate first and last. So, I mean, shit can happen.
But trim that lead this week.
So, going through the games, me and Colin picked Detroit. Dallas, you and Donnie picked Cowboys. We all picked Cleveland.
Real quick, I wanted to make it a point that anytime me and Donnie go against the Lions win. I think it's been like that all year.
I'm gonna need you guys to pick the Rams this week.
We might not have to do that on purpose.
Yeah.
That might just come organically.
We all picked Cleveland, and we'll get into that game in a bit. We all picked Seattle, and we got that right. You 3 picked Jacksonville. I picked the Colts, and they lost. Me and Donnie picked the Vikings. Oh, shit. I got the records all wrong. I flip-flop one of these games.
Did I have 6 wins?
Hold on, Donnie had 6 wins.
Oh, okay.
That means I went 6-9. Nice.
Funny enough, it does not change because
The standings,
I put green for Washington and red for Minnesota. Me and Donnie picked Minnesota, and you and Colin picked... No, Donnie, you picked Minnesota. They won.
So we lost the point.
Yes. So,
So-
Donnie, your new record...
I meant fuck because me and you were on the same side. I was hoping you lost.
Oh, I got you.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to win.
So, Donnie, let me change that record to 119 and 89.
That means I'm only 21 games behind Colin.
I ended up going 9-5. That makes Dallas 8-6.
If I pick a tie, can I automatically be in first?
What?
Only if it is.
If I call a tie, I should be catapulted to first place.
Hold on 1 second. 1, 3, 8. No, 1. Okay. We all picked Buffalo. They ended up getting the win. We all picked Tampa Bay. They lost. I was the only one to pick the Steelers. You guys all picked the Ravens, and the Steelers won. Donnie, only one to pick the Jets. For whatever reason, this man has something with the Jets this year, and they got demolished.
How was that one of my 5 wins? 6 wins, sorry.
No,
Good.
the Jets lost.
Just lost.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Miami
Miami got the
play.
win.
Who did they play?
Miami.
Yeah, that's expected.
We all picked the Broncos. They won. We all picked the Rams. They won. Me and Colin were the only ones to pick the Packers, and they got the win in a close game.
Fuck you guys.
Colin and Dallas were the only one to pick the Texans. Me and Donnie picked the Chiefs. Texans won. And then Colin and Dallas also were the only ones to pick the Chargers, and they beat the Eagles last night. A lot of games, a lot of weird games to talk. We got some we'll skim right through and not even talk about, and we got some that were crazy. But just like last week, we started off with Detroit Green Bay. This week, we get to start it off on a positive note. Detroit versus the Cowboys. Thursday night football, a big must win. I feel like almost all our games are kind of must wins depending on how the division goes, but a huge must win to get on the right track here against the Cowboys. And kind of just, that offense has been explosive every single week. And they were still pretty explosive. They had some good plays, but definitely not like George Pickens didn't really do a whole lot. CeeDee Lamb did a lot, but then he got that concussion in the end zone. We looked a lot better. Jahmyr Gibbs got 3 touchdowns. We looked better on offense, I should say. The defense looked pretty good. Muhammad got 3 sacks. And I'll just mention it before Donnie says something. Our return team was an absolute unit.
Oh!
Khalif, no problem.
Good God.
Tom Kennedy coming off the practice squad a couple weeks ago. Gets a couple receiving yards last week. And then everyone's like, "Oh man,
it was like 30."
He's gonna be huge this week." But Amon-Ra, last second, nobody thought he ends up playing. So we're like, "Oh, this man Tom Kennedy ain't gonna touch the field." This man put us in between the 40 and 50 yard line. I think almost every single return. And what's funny too is I mentioned it in the group chat that they kept kicking it. So at the start of the game, they kicked it to Tom Kennedy. He took it out to the 40. They kept kicking it to Sailors on the left side of the field, and Aubrey kicked it to him like 3 times in a row. Then all of a sudden they went out there and Tom Kennedy and Sailors switched. And I was like, oh, they want Tom Kennedy to get the ball. They kicked it to the right side that time. And I was like, bro, they are avoiding Tom Kennedy. And I was like, I cannot believe I have to actually say that.
Scary.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like they just
away.
changed up the game plan. They started kicking it to Tom Kennedy again. Man, he was taking it out to the 50 every single time. It was crazy.
3 returns, 120, averaging 40 yards a return. Which Sailors did good too. 5 returns, 141, averaging 28. But like
averaging 40.
Averaging 40 is crazy.
Averaging 40
TK had a couple good punt returns.
Never in my life.
One punt return.
It was a great punt return.
We all know Donnie has some awful football takes, but the fact that this man,
let's.
Yeah, I'll give him his flowers a little bit. He's been with TK since the beginning. For that man to get a game ball, I never thought we'd see the day. I know you didn't either. None of us thought we'd see the day, but this man got it. If TK got a game ball, if you would have told me 2 years ago TK is getting a game ball in 2 years, I would have said, Brad sold the team. Brad absolutely traded everybody, and we sold the team. I was like, there's no way we would still have as much superpower as we do, and Tom Kennedy's still getting a game ball.
You know what's fucking insane? Because I watched the obviously the locker room celebration. This man J-Mo scored 3 touchdowns and didn't get a game ball, but he gave one. Can I get it? Gibbs, I don't. Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
Gibbs could get a game ball every single week, but the fact that motherfucker had a hat trick and I believe over 100 receiving yards, and they still gave one to TK, I'm like, yeah, all right, yep, that's it right there. He's the face of the team.
You guys will help me refresh my memory, but there was a call earlier in that game that was outrageous. What was that call? That we were.
I know the
safety.
I don't know. That was the one. There was another one that we were.
There's the safety, and then the pass interference with Anzalone was a big one I saw.
Those were the 2 we remember. The Anzalone one was late.
There was one we were absolutely livid about. Like, what was that? There is something that we are missing. I'm gonna go watch them. There's got it because there was one.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right. Whatever it was that happened before the safety, because I remember being mad, and then I was like, "Yeah, ball doesn't lie."
I know a quick way I can find it because I remember I saw a clip. And I was like, are you kidding me? Give me 1 second.
Then the safety took precedence over whatever the fuck that play call or whatever the penalty was. And then I feel like it was a pass interference.
I'm not sure. It might have been.
But I don't think there was any roughing, and we usually bitch about roughing.
Yeah, I can't recall it, Marshall.
Give me 1 second. I can.
Give me. But yeah, the Lions' playoff probability is now at 54%. According to this article that was posted 4 days ago, so it probably isn't updated, but...
Let me try to find... So one of those posts right here. The New York Times, I've seen these before. they come out with the playoff odds dependent on every outcome of the final 4 weeks. So like it's basically it shows every game or all 4 games and then every scenario that could happen underneath it and like how it would impact the playoff thing. So basically, if the Lions lose out, they go 8-9, they obviously don't make the playoffs. And then it's like if they beat the Rams but nobody else, there's a 1% chance, and like it changes based on that. The Lions remain above 90+% if they lose to either one. You can lose one game to either the Rams, the Steelers, or Minnesota, and still remain 94% and above as long as you win the Bears game. So you can drop one of those games, still beating the Bears, and stay above 90%. If that one, if they only lose one game and it's to the Bears and they win the rest of the games, it drops to 73%. And then there's scenarios where like they can lose 2 and remain at about 50%, depending on who they lose to. But
I can't remember what the play was that we lost our mind on, but shout out to for looking for that. I saw probably one of the nastiest ankle breakers of the year, and showing off the athleticism of Jahmyr Gibbs, where he caught the ball on a little swing route, he catches it and dead stops, and this man Deron Bland went and just absolutely fell. He could not stop like Jahmyr Gibbs, and then this man still turned upfield and got the first down. Yeah, he put that man Deron Bland in, and it showed. There was a clip earlier that showed Deron Bland earlier in the game made a tackle on Gibbs.
Yeah,
and
he was
talking shit, and then that man did that, and then there was another play where bro like got missed a tackle. Yeah, I stiff armed him. I was like, yeah, you like
armed Deron Bland.
Yeah, you got to get out here after that.
Gibbs is a bad man.
Definitely tell that was a similar game plan to even if Amon-Ra was out. You could tell with how much you were using Gibbs in the pass game. Like they went in knowing Gibbs was going to be a pass catcher. And then I think even with Amon-Ra coming in, they still ran most of the same plays. And then Amon-Ra just kind of fit in where he fit in. But I'm surprised Amon-Ra even did anything, to be honest with you. Once I heard he was going to play, I'm like, okay.
Hey.
He's not going to have any. I mean, he had like 60, 70 yards, something like that. That's pretty good for having one ankle. And I mean, he almost scored on the one play. So, like, he did as good as you could having only one ankle.
It's crazy we went from last year. I feel like our offense was ran around not only the run game, but Amon-Ra. I feel like this offense, like Gibbs, in terms of running, passing, I feel like this if he's not doing good, it's probably not going to be a good game. Like, obviously, I love Monty, I love Amon-Ra, but I just feel like bro is good at everything. Gibbs is just good at everything. You can tell, like, when he plays good, we probably are going to win the game. And if not, then something really crazy happened because, yeah, that man, I mean, he didn't have a lot of rushing yards, but he had 80 receiving yards and then 3 touchdowns, tying Barry Sanders' records on touchdowns in NFL history before the age of 24 or before the age of 25. So yeah, he's insane.
I love Monty, but the offense has to be kind of catered to Monty a little bit, whereas Gibbs can kind of be his own offense. Yeah. So like, I don't know, Monty I think only had 10 touches, but he had more rushing yards than Gibbs because he had that long.
It sucks for Monty because obviously Gibbs
last year was his team. The last 2-3 years has been his team in terms of how they can.
Like obviously Gibbs is the
this
better.
Year it's not really
like Gibbs is the better. We all know Gibbs is the better running back. Like Gibbs is a top 3 running back in the NFL. But the crappy thing, like I think Monty, honestly, you put him at like say Gibbs got hurt and we just put it around Monty. I still think Monty wouldn't be a top 3, a top 10. Yeah, he's a top 10 back. But the problem with Monty and why he probably can't get going as much is obviously Gibbs runs outside the tackles, and we have 2 great tackles. Our whole interior offensive line is just dumpster fire right now.
Look, that's kind of what I meant with the tailored to him. Monty needs a good O-line. Gibbs doesn't need as good of an O-line.
No, he doesn't. So you take Gibbs as a top 3 running back in the NFL. But if Monty were to come in and Gibbs was hurt, Monty is a top 10. Like, we still love Monty. And honestly, I don't care how good Gibbs get. I really don't want to ever get rid of Monty. Because I don't want to be there to be a scenario where Gibbs does go down or something happens. And honestly, even then, with Gibbs up, like, look at last game. Like, yeah, like, Gibbs obviously was a better player, but Monty had that one big drive where he just got, like, 10 yards of carry and then got the touchdown, where he dragged that man. That man fell in his shirt. He was dragging that man. Monty's a freight train, man. He's one of, I thought I loved Jamal Williams, and when we got rid of him, I was so sad. And I remember we were all on the same page, like, oh, David Montgomery, okay, that's kind of cool, but, like, is he going to be Jamal Williams? Within the first 3 games, we're like, Monty's the best. Monty's the GOAT. Give it to Monty. Every play.
If Monty would have had the chances that Williams would have had the year prior, he probably would have had 20-plus touchdowns. Yeah. Like, Williams did great, but, like, Monty is a fucking animal. When Gibbs is great, like, we can still lose. Like, it's hard, but, like, Gibbs can have a great game and us lose. if Monty has a great game, I feel like it's impossible for us to lose. Because like if he's rolling, that means the O line's rolling, and like the entire like he is a good catalyst. If he's on, the entire team's on. If he's off, then the offense can sputter.
Can you imagine there's an alternate timeline where Williams signed the contract to stay with the Lions, and we never get Monty?
I try not to think of sad things. So no.
Before we move on
in another world, we still have fucking DeAndre Swift. So no, I try not to think of that life.
Before we move on, I do want to give the flowers though to our linebacker core. You know, I always think that this linebacker, like even going in every year, I'm like draft linebacker could be good, but then our linebacker comes out and it's honestly some of the best part of our team. And like all of them, Alex Anzalone, you could tell he's getting to the near probably end of his Detroit era, probably just because of his age and stuff. But he is still balling out. Jack Campbell is slowly becoming like a top linebacker in the league, dude. He not only on blitzing and pass coverage, his tackling is beautiful. And then honestly, when we re-signed Derek Barnes, I was like, that's great, but like, is he really worth that? This man, Derek Barnes, has been great this year. He's gotten, like, I believe he has 4 or 5 sacks on the season along with Campbell. He had that pick last week. He's a solid linebacker to go with Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone. And with Brian Branch going down, which I know we didn't talk about that, but Brian Branch is out for the season and probably the beginning of next season too. You never know how bad Achilles injuries can be, because obviously Rodgers had one and they were like, oh, he might be able to make it back by the end of the season. So it just depends. Obviously, we haven't heard a lot of reports, but my guess is with this late in the season, beginning of December, he might be able to make it back for next season, like start, but I'm going to guess probably like Aleem McNeil did. Probably Aleem came back like week 6 or 7, and this was right around the time that Aleem McNeil got injured last year. So probably.
Yeah. Aleem was an ACL, like an Achilles, like I'm going in with the mindset that Branch isn't playing next year either, just because.
I absolutely believe he's playing next year. It's hard to say if it's that. I mean, look, like Rodgers, like I said, Rodgers had an injury.
Like Achilles are like up. Like that's not really.
It
like,
really just depends.
Kevin Durant hurt. I know it's a different sport, but Kevin Durant hurt his Achilles. He was out almost 2 fucking years.
Yeah,
like,
but he's a pussy.
It's real hard. It's real hard.
It just depends. You don't know how bad it is, though. Like it really could. It could be.
I'm assuming. I'm gonna go with the mindset that he's not playing, because I did the same thing with Aleem. I was like, okay, Aleem's probably going to miss pretty much all of next year, too. He came back, like week 8, 9? He came back sooner than what we thought, and I'm glad for that. But, mentally, I was prepared for him to not play at all this year.
I think he'll probably make it back middle of next year. That gives him 11 months to recover. I think he'll probably make it back. There are reports that, I don't know about this week, but Kirby should be back here soon. That'll be huge. We brought in DeMonte Casey as a practice squad member, and I think he'll be just signed to the active roster. Honestly, he's been a solid role player for the Steelers for years. He's basically a mirror image of Branch, just not as good, because that man loves to hit, and that man is a missile. But that's all really Bro's good at. I don't expect. I remember watching him play, awful in pass coverage, but bro, if there's a tackle in front of him, that guy might die. He's gonna take him out. So it's not obviously Brian Branch, but I'm glad Brad's at least trying to bring in some talent to fill that and just at least bring in people.
We could bring in Charles Woodson. I think that'd be a solid get.
Have you seen Bro the last one? That's like saying bringing in Darrelle Revis. Have you seen Darrelle Revis the last couple of years?
Darrelle Revis, he's got to be mid-40s too.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen the latest pictures of him, but he probably could play on the D line.
That's what I'm saying. He tackle for us and cover. He can do both.
All right, moving on from the Detroit game, Cleveland versus Tennessee. You never thought we'd stop at this game and talk about it, but I feel like we have to, just for the reason that. So it's Shedeur Sanders versus Cam Ward, rookie versus rookie. And obviously, Cam Ward, first overall pick, and Shedeur Sanders, 5th round pick. Shedeur played a great game. 364 yards, I believe 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. A good game for a guy in his 2nd or 3rd game starting. Now here's where we're actually going to talk about it. The Browns have to have a game-winning drive in the 2-point conversion to win the game. And they go down, they get the touchdown. This man, Shedeur Sanders, leads them down the field and gets a touchdown because the run game was awful. Awful. Actually, Shedeur Sanders got 4 total touchdowns because he had a rushing touchdown. The run game, Quinshon Judkins went 4 for 26. You need a 2-point conversion to win it. So what does Stefanski do? He takes Shedeur Sanders out of the football game after this crazy game that he's played. And they run the dumbest play I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys saw the meme of they ran the waterboard clip. No, he fakes it. He fakes it left. No, he doesn't fake it at all. That's literally what that
fakes about faking.
He thinks about faking. Stefanski needs to be fired. I understand the Shedeur. I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders is amazing. He looked great, but that is awful coaching, and that's all on him.
Well, the thing is, like, it hasn't been getting talked about, but like Stefanski's been doing this. Like, it was either the last game or the game before where Shedeur was playing, and they kept taking him out. I think they went for a 2-point, and they took him out. And Shedeur was asked about it, like why they were running a Wildcat in like a scenario like that. And Shedeur just kind of shut it down. But like Stefanski keeps doing that shit. And hold on. Stefanski's in a rare no-win situation because like either A, they just keep losing games, and that obviously doesn't look good on him. Or B, Shedeur comes out and he looks good like he did against the Titans, and then everybody's wondering, like, well, if Shedeur's been this good, like, I understand he hasn't been getting a ton of reps, but, like, he's had some reps. Like, unless he's just the worst practice player of all time, it's like, why were we starting an old Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, who clearly has a ceiling, over Shedeur if Shedeur was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's either Shedeur looks really good and he's going to get shit because why weren't you playing him before? Or he's going to get shit because Shedeur's playing bad and they're losing games. So, like, he's kind of fucked either way now. Like, he's in a no-win situation, and like I think he's an all right offensive mind, but yeah, he definitely should be fired the way he's handled this entire situation.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. He's in that lose-lose situation with Shedeur, and I feel like the worst part is they could possibly have a top 3 pick, and there's going to be a quarterback on the board who might have won a Heisman. And there's going to be the debate, well, we got this 5th round Shedeur Sanders who's been balling.
I don't care what Shedeur Sanders do. They cannot go another quarterback, man. They have Shedeur Sanders. They have Dylan Gabriel. They have Deshaun Watson. They got to drop somebody, trade somebody, get rid of somebody. Like, I don't think you can go with another quarterback.
I would say, though, Shedeur's value of a trade might be at an all-time high right now.
If the Browns organization really hates him.
I think you guys are crazy. I think there's a 1% chance Shedeur is a starter next year for the Browns. I think there's no way. Like, they have to take a quarterback. Like you said, they're going to have a top 3, top 5 pick. And, like, yeah, this isn't a great quarterback class, but, like, Mendoza might be there if the Jets don't take him. Garrett Nussmeier is another guy who's been talked about in that top echelon of, like, prospects. Like, they're going to take a quarterback. And especially if they fire Stefanski, like, this new coach, are you going to hold an allegiance to a 5th round quarterback who you didn't draft? Like, that's a tough sell. And then, like, I guess I could see if Stefanski comes back.
In my opinion,
if Stefanski comes back, he's going to want to win now. So they're probably going to sign a vet, like a Carson Wentz or somebody like that, to come in. I don't see him going in.
In my opinion,
best case scenario, he goes into next year in an open competition with either an older vet or a rookie quarterback that they take in like a middle round to compete.
I'm not a Shedeur Sanders fan, but I will give him his flower. I think he's done a lot better than I expected. Like, I think he's actually playing well. And I'm going to be honest, if like the Browns move on, I think he deserves a shot somewhere else on a team that actually doesn't hate his guts like badly. But
what teams would he be a starter on?
First off, let me put this out. CBS Sports did release a mock draft 2 days ago. They have first overall the Giants. Obviously, they don't go quarterback. Second overall, the Raiders. They go quarterback. They go Mendoza. Third overall is the Titans. Obviously, they don't go quarterback. Fourth overall is the Browns, and they did go quarterback. They have them taking Dante Moore from Oregon. So now to answer your question, what teams do I think he could go be a starter on? I mean, there's a bunch of teams like this mock draft. The Jets could be a team where he could go play. The Jets aren't really the best position to go get a quarterback. Even like the Saints, maybe the Lions would be a good one.
Would be a starter?
I'm kidding.
I just don't. I think the hard thing with Shedeur is like, I've been critical of him, but like he's playing better than what everybody has expected. I think Shedeur's main problem with getting real playing time or a starting job or anything like that is the same reason why he fell so far in the draft, or at least why we've heard he's fell so far in the draft. I think his biggest problem is him. I think he comes off as a little too arrogant, and like, I get it, he's Deion's son. Like, I'm not gonna expect him to not be arrogant at all, but like, it's different. If he was a running back or if he was a wide receiver or a corner or a position where you're allowed to kind of hype yourself up a little bit more, I think it'd be fine. But like,
you know where he would go, because this man loves to bring in people that
quarterback that like, because he doesn't come off confident a lot of times. I think he kind of comes off cocky, which like It didn't work for Menzel. People didn't like it with Cam Newton. Once Cam Newton wasn't like a superstar anymore, like there's a reason he quit getting jobs, is because people didn't want to deal with like that cockiness. So like, I don't know. I just wish he needs to take like some PR training and just
I'm
kind of
calling this shot.
be a little quieter.
I'm calling this shot.
But like,
this is a crazy shot.
A little bit.
But this team loves to bring in people that have a mouth on them. If Mike Tomlin isn't fired as the Steelers head coach, they absolutely can bring in Shedeur Sanders. This is another 9-8 season incoming.
He's gonna get traded though. I don't think he'll get traded to the Steelers.
That's true. That's in division. You're right.
Even with a new regime, and like also.
Plus, how terrible would that? I feel like look how terrible that would look for any organization who passed on Shedeur. Oh yeah, that was every organization passed on him like multiple times.
The best team he could go to, not to start, but like the most logical. Like if he got cut from the Browns right now, the one team I think that would maybe give him a shot is the Ravens, because we learned that report that the Ravens wanted to pick him like 10 picks before he went to the Browns. But even then, it's like, okay, that might have pissed the Ravens off. Like, they might be like, okay, like, you didn't want to come to us? Even if they understand it, they might be like, like you're not going to come back up.
Let Bro have a quarterback battle with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm here for that conversation.
He's good enough to at least be like QB3 or a top practice squad guy. Okay. I think he's shown.
I think you're being a little on the harsh side now.
For a guy who's a big Tom Kennedy fan.
Yeah, I was about to say practice squad or QB3. I mean, he put up 360 yards, 4 total touchdowns. He's actually performing. He's performing better than Dylan Gabriel right now.
Okay, hold on.
I think you're being a little. I think he easily is a quarterback too. I genuinely think he can develop a little bit more and be a low-end starter.
Let's take a deep breath. I thought he played great Sunday too. Let's keep in mind it was in a loss to the Titans, who are the worst team.
It wasn't his fault.
So okay, I understand, but at the same time, still was a loss to the Titans. Like, any way you shake it, they lost. Anyway, like, if you look at his stats since he's taken over as a starter, like in the 3 games, whatever it's been, it's comparable to what Dylan Gabriel was doing, either his 2 or I didn't see it, but I heard about it. Like, they have similar-ish stats.
No.
The difference is
no.
He should still be starting over Gabriel. I'm not saying that. The difference is Gabriel was very conservative and, like, just kind of took dink and dunked, and that was why he was getting his stats. Shedeur is more like big plays. He's making better throws than what Gabriel did. But like, still, it's not like if he had like 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, and was throwing for 300 a game, I'd be like, you know what, I hear you out. But he's playing solid for a 5th round pick. The key word there, I'd say, is a 5th round pick. Like,
okay, by the way, Gabriel's best game was 221 yards, 0 touchdowns. Sanders' best game, 364 yards and 4 total touchdowns.
Again,
Gabriel is definitely. By the way, I just wanted to point out, because you said it was against the Titans. Shedeur Sanders put up a better game against the Titans than Matt Stafford did.
Ooh.
The Rams had that game won in the first quarter, and Shedeur was in a fucking shootout. So
that's actually not.
I'll let you have that, buddy.
That's actually not the truth. The Titans were winning at halftime. That game was 13-10. Titans were winning at halftime. If you remember.
Yeah, did you think Matthew Stafford had to? You really want to grandstand on the hill after Matthew Stafford just put up 45 points against the Cardinals?
I mean, I'm just saying. He went on 298, 2 touchdowns.
We're talking about the Titans.
Matt Stafford went 298, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like that.
As if the Cardinals.
Shedeur had a better game than Stafford against the Titans.
On the Titans.
Just saying.
My biggest thing with Shedeur versus Dylan Gabriel, passing yards per attempt. Shedeur is 7.5 versus Dylan Gabriel 5. Passing yards per game 192 to 104. Like, the fact that I just don't see how Shedeur is not better than Dylan Gabriel.
I'm not saying that he's not better. Let me clarify. I am not saying he's not better. If I was them, I would have started Shedeur before Dylan Gabriel. I would have not. I think Dylan Gabriel might be a good backup one day. He is not going to be like. I think the odds of Shedeur or of Dylan Gabriel being like a low level to mid level starter in the NFL is 0. I don't think it's going to happen.
You should be the biggest Shedeur fan. You should be the biggest Shedeur fan right now ever, because they play the Bears this week. We need that from him.
What percent chance do I give Shedeur to be a low end, mid end starter? I'd give it like a couple percent. I don't think it's likely, but I think it's a lot more likely than it is Dylan Gabriel, which I don't think he has any shot. So I would start Shedeur. I think Shedeur is solid. I'm just saying, I think you guys are being a little zealous of a guy who Every team told us 3, 4, 5, 6 times they didn't want to deal with how he is. From what we heard, from how the interviews went in the
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, right.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. But also, like, a lot of teams just don't want to deal with the personal problem for like a low end starter, good backup. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go there. But
I knew exactly where you were going with it. I was
Colin
just thinking about
Kaepernick would
it.
have been a good backup for almost every team. I don't think he was a starter when he like got released, but I don't think he was bad enough to be out of the league. Like, he would have been a good backup.
I am all about.
been a good
I don't
backup
care how
for
your
every
attitude is. I don't care how about. I'm all about how are you a good football player or not?
That's
Kaepernick, putting everything, all of the political stuff aside, was an amazing quarterback for his first 2 or 3 years in the NFL, and then he sucked ass. Shador, I don't care about his attitude or not. He's playing like a good football player. Also, we are really going to see how Shador is made. The next 4 games for the Browns is the Bears, Bills, Steelers, and Bengals. I mean, the Bengals is not the greatest, but Bears, Bills, Steelers. That's on the better, not the Titans, the Raiders, which he has played. Those are a little bit better. So we really need Shador to pull through for this Bears game, because if the Bears can drop one against the Browns, oof.
I'm just saying. It's not Madden, like teams care about these guys' character, whether we do or not.
Let me ask you this: if you're the Browns and you
I don't hate Shador.
No. Hey, this has nothing to do with.
You guys have made this out like I think Dylan Gabriel's better. I do not think he's better at all.
This is a joking question. If you're the Browns, you have no other option. You have to start Shador Sanders or Deshaun Watson. Who you start?
Like next year or like next week?
I gotta see that QB battle. Battle. Because peak Deshaun Watson was a top 5 quarterback.
One has a bad attitude. One likes illegal massages. Like,
I hate
Never found guilty.
Watson. I hate Deshaun Watson for like everything he's been convicted or accused of. But like, say for some reason the Browns were just restricted. You can't sign, trade, draft a quarterback at all this entire offseason. So this QB room is next year's QB room. I would say I would pull fucking Deshaun and Shador in a room, and I would be like, guys, this is the most 50-50 dead tie ever. Whoever looks better in practice today is going to be the starter, is how I would go about it. Because I would like Shador because he's cheaper and everything. You're paying Deshaun Watson too much money. Where if like it's close, you don't start him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's hard. I hate it.
We do got to move on from the Browns. Is what we just spent like 20 minutes. We'll scroll past this next game. Seattle blows out Atlanta. Jacksonville, Indy. The only thing we need to talk about with this one is that Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, comes out of retirement to join the Colts practice squad. Daniel Jones goes down. Anthony Richardson's already hurt, and then Riley Leonard also got hurt. So they call this man up. He's on his couch. Hey, what's going on? Oh, what is all that background noise? Sorry, that's my 20 kids I got in the house right now. And what you doing, man? Just I'm making dinner for kid number 6. And he's like, if you want to come join, we really need somebody. Can you still move? And bro's like, yeah, I can still move. I want to know how that phone conversation went. Like, I imagine Shane Steichen and Phillip Rivers are in contact, not all the time, but they haven't. It's not like they haven't talked since this man retired.
Well, if you looked at what I sent in the group chat earlier,
yeah.
It was according to Ian. They talk apparently all the time because Shane was with him in San Diego / LA, and apparently like Phillip Rivers coaching like gets Shane Steichen's advice, which is fucking crazy. But I forgot I have a Phillip Rivers jersey. I should have wore that bitch for the pod. That'd have gone crazy.
Which way? Colts or San Diego?
Actually, SD State. No. Chargers. Fucking
okay.
Right. Yeah.
Is it San Diego Chargers or an LA Chargers? Really important, actually.
I don't fucking know. I don't think they changed the jersey.
They did. They had a whole rebrand.
Give me just a second. I gotta.
Well, moving on from that one. Oh, go ahead, Dallas.
I was just gonna say, but if Phillip Rivers does come back, he can't wear number 17 because Daniel Jones is number 17. So he's gonna have to come back. That. He's gonna have to come back in a new number.
That is actually crazy. Let's see what this man pulls out.
It's definitely San Diego.
Yeah, there's a difference. I'm telling you.
It's the older. This man's putting it on. I already know who he is. If he's taking this long.
It's the, what is that? Like the navy blue?
Yep.
Yeah, that's San Diego.
Definitely San Diego.
Well, moving on, we'll skim through a couple games because we've talked a lot already. Minnesota beats the crap out of Washington. Buffalo,
Shout out JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, moving on. Buffalo wins a close one over Cincinnati. Tampa Bay drops another one to the Saints, and now the Panthers are winning the NFC South. All right, we got the Philip Rivers jersey. It's still got the tag on and everything.
It does both sets of tags.
He does. Tampa Bay drops another game, and the Panthers are now leading the NFC South. A really rough back half of the season for the Bucs. The injury bug has hurt them bad, and it's been hard.
I hope I didn't actually pay $120 for this jersey. If so, kick my own ass. What in the fuck?
Pittsburgh beats Baltimore in a huge division game. They were both 6-6 going into that week. This is kind of like this could really tell where the division goes, and the Steelers ended up pulling out in Baltimore. So a big game for Rodgers, Tomlin, and the Steelers there. Miami boat races the Jets. We're not even going to talk about it. The Broncos boat race the Raiders. Not even going to talk about it. The Rams boat race the Cardinals. Not even going to talk about it. This game, a little more to talk about, especially being in division. Green Bay versus Chicago. It was a pretty solid game. Got really crazy near the end. This man, Caleb Williams, both Caleb Williams and Jordan Love in my book are bad, honestly. I don't like either of them. I think both of them are bad. I think Love is really bad. I think Caleb Williams is really bad. If you watch that first half, you would think that bro didn't. You would think he was passing with his eyes closed. Go watch that first half again because it was abysmal to watch that man pass the ball. And then, not his fault. I kind of blame Ben on this one. That fourth down call, 4th and 1. All you gotta do is just rush. And honestly, the rushing attack was killing them, even with the Packers D line. Like Swift was having a good game, and they decided to pass it. So that goes automatically on Ben Johnson. But then the throw was bad. Like, bro, the way he threw it, like just pushed it up there, and that lost them the game. That was to tie the game or maybe go for 2 and win.
Ben Johnson did come out and say they were gonna go for 2.
Which I wish I saw that. We got robbed of that. That would have been a cool moment.
That would have been awesome. Either way, obviously, if the Packers would have won,
I killed the play call at first. I was real mad because I don't know. I wanted the Bears to beat the Packers solely because I hate the Packers, but I didn't know the Bears actually ran that play the week before against Philly, and it was to Cole Kmet, and they won. It was one of their big
but Packers
plays.
watch film.
What? No, and the worst part is Cole was open. The problem was Caleb just saw him. I don't know if you guys actually saw the whole play, but Cole was open for a solid 3 seconds, and Caleb just, which is aggravating because people have said that DJ Moore, he was streaking along, and he was open, but he was the third option on the route, and you read it like you read a book. You read it left to right. So DeAndre Swift is the first read. Cole's the second read, running the skinny corner, whatever you call that route. Then the third is DJ Moore, and he was at a weird angle. The D end probably would have hit the ball out of the air anyway, so that didn't really matter. But what I don't get is why did you stare down DeAndre Swift for so long when there was 2 defenders right there? It should have been, I can't run, DeAndre's covered, and then he had the flick. He could have threw that exact same ball. If he would have thrown it 2 seconds earlier, it would have been a touchdown, and then the Bears maybe win the game. But I don't know. I think the Bears are better than what we give them credit for. But the one thing that could hold them back is Caleb having moments like that. And he's a young guy, young offense, all that. I think he's going to grow and become better and be what we kind of thought when he was coming out of school. But yeah, moments like that can't happen. He should have had that touchdown instantly.
Honestly, the Bears were destined to lose this game because Ben Johnson said there's nothing better than beating Matt LaFleur twice a season.
Which pisses me off. I love that quote. That's awesome, Ben.
I don't like Ben, but that's a great quote.
It's a great quote until you lose to the Packers. It's the dumbest quote he's had all year.
I like it, especially since that, leaving the Lions, I like it because leaving the Lions, he doesn't diss the Lions, but he also he doesn't diss the Lions, but he disses the Packers on his way out. It's you love it to see it. That's the one thing I'm not a big Ben Johnson guy, but I love that. So it sucks that they did lose, even though I do think Green Bay winning helps us out a little bit. I really do. In terms of the division, because we play Chicago again, we still have the tiebreaker over them, so them losing some games helps out. I actually saw a thing that I thought Chicago winning was work, but no, it was definitely Green Bay winning was the move. But I still would have honestly liked to say it's always a good day when Green Bay loses. It really is.
Either way, people ask me kind of my rooting interest at work and stuff, and I was I don't really care who wins this game this game basically just determines who I want to win 2 weeks from now when they play again. Like, I think the best case scenario in either situation, either team winning, was for one team to sweep the other. Like, now, going into that game, I'm going to actively have to root for the Packers because, like, we need them to win that game.
What we need this week
It's crazy
what we need is a Lions win, which against the Rams is going to be tough. But the Packers play the Broncos in Denver. That is a big game. That is a huge game. And, like, the Broncos are one of the best teams in the AFC right now. So that's a huge game. If the Packers win and the Packers lose and we win this week, all of a sudden the division is looking like, oh, damn, we can actually, because then we play Steelers, Minnesota, two easier, hopefully, opponents. The division is right back into anybody's hands if that happens this week.
Me personally, I mean, I'm not really super worried about the division anymore. My logic is now just let the Lions get hot, and like it's going to be tough to go on the road, either Philly, Tampa, Seattle if it gets that far. Like no matter what, it's going to be tough to go outdoors and play. But I mean, I don't know. It's weird now that the Lions were in such a rough spot 2 weeks ago, and now they're the only team in the playoffs that really
thinking that this could be an opportunity. Say the Packers go out and win the division, and say the Lions get the first wild card spot at the 5th seed. Say that the Panthers win their division and the Panthers have to play the Lions, bro. I'm gonna be so torn. That's gonna be
in shambles.
I'm gonna be in shambles.
Gonna be torn is crazy.
I'm a man because like I don't want Bryce Young to lose, but I want the Lions to win. So I'm just saying if that happens, it's gonna be
best case scenario.
No, worst case scenario.
Lions win that playoff game by.
You don't want to see a Bryce Young playoff performance because he honestly might make a Super Bowl run.
That would be worrisome because the Panthers make the playoffs. That means they got hot this month, and that would be kind of scary.
They're winning. All they got to do is basically beat. I mean, they're winning the division, and the Bucks are.
Yeah, the Bucks are they're selling basically.
They are selling.
They're selling, but they still.
But that's the thing. The Panthers do have to play the Bucks twice. They have not played the Bucks yet. So Panthers played the Saints this week, which I say should be easy, but they just beat the Bucks. So we'll see what happens. Moving on to the last two games, Houston beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs now eliminated from winning. We will have a new AFC West winner this year, confirmed. I think we kind of knew this was going to happen, but it's confirmed now. And honestly, another loss here in the next 2 weeks. The Chiefs team could not make the playoffs, which is crazy to say, but it happens. I mean, you look at Brady's career. You know, they obviously went 3 out of 4 Super Bowls in their first couple of years. Then it was kind of like after that 05 season, 06, 07, it was like, I mean, they were okay seasons. They made the playoffs, but it wasn't like memorable. I think that it's just kind of where the Chiefs are right now. Like, I think Kelsey's going to retire, and then I think they'll go out, get a stud wide receiver. They'll beef up that offense a little bit more. And I just think this year is just an off year for them. And I think it's crazy because I know Bears fans are right there with them. This man, Matt Nagy, has to go. You could like, honestly, all three of the good teams, I feel like it's the Eagles offense coordinator, Matt Nagy, and on the Lions, like all three of those offense coordinators got to go. Matt Nagy is terrible. Like it is.
I don't even put that much blame on Matt Nagy or the coaches. I think a lot of it is regression in the mean a little bit because like they won all those games they should have won that were 1-score games last year, and now like it's kind of coming back down to earth. But I think it's a little bit overcorrecting. Like I think they're 1-6 in 1-score games, which like I don't think they should be. I think a major reason is. And this person has caught no slack, and I don't understand why is the GM of the Chiefs not getting shit? They haven't done anything to really.
What do you mean? They re-signed Juju this offseason.
Yeah, they knew Rashid Rice wasn't going to play the first like month or so of the season, and just like
if Tyreek wants to play football still after this broken ankle, that the Chiefs GM knows what to do.
You can only go so long without like adding new pieces to the offense. Like the Lions offense is great. Within the next year or two, we're going to have to add a guy who like, whether it's wide receiver 2 or 3, like Tesla. We drafted him in the 3rd round. The Lions offense is great without him. You keep adding to the offense or your offense is going to get stagnant. Like you can't just run the same shit back to back to back. The Chiefs this year were banking on Isaiah Pacheco coming off a major injury last year, who didn't look good after he came back in that like final month of the season, and a 35-year-old Kareem Hunt. Like, why did you not go out and get a running back that could compete, that is fresh, a young guy like
Amir Abdullah?
I just cannot believe. I think it's Les Snead as their GM. Just like, and he didn't make any changes on deep. Like, you can't just keep running the same shit back. I understand they made the Super Bowl. I understand they were great last year. But like, you always, if you're not innovating, you're dying. And I just think that's what happened to the Chiefs. A little bit too much of, I odds not being in their favor, losing all these one-score games, and then just all these guys playing all these games, like eventually they were going to run out of gas. That's why you got to keep adding young talent. And if you don't do that, shit like this happens. So I think they just don't make the playoffs this year. I don't think it's the end of the world for the Chiefs. I think they lose a couple of guys. They bring in new faces. They reload, and next year.
Gotta get rid of that Patrick Mahomes guy. That guy is, man.
Yeah,
I know. They could trade him to Detroit for Jared Goff and a 7th-round pick. I'd be in favor of that.
I think that'd be okay. I could get
Might
behind.
Be a little much
maybe even throw in Tom Kennedy in there. Just add a little bit of fuel to the
no way. Tom Kennedy is literally going to be your backup quarterback and starting wide receiver. Can't do it.
Moving on to the last game, Monday Night Football happened just last night. Chargers, Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles on a 4 game losing streak. This man Jalen Hurts decided he didn't understand what the game of football was, and going into the history books in the worst way possible, only player to have 2 turnovers on the same exact play. Throws an interception. The guy who caught the interception fumbles the ball. Hurts picks it up and fumbles it. That play was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was like, there is no way. If you're this man Hurts, he's like, oh my gosh, the interception. Oh, I got the ball back, and then immediately gets it punched out. It's like, you just got to sit down after that one. And he threw 4 interceptions, and they were bad. Now, to be fair, this man Hurts has played very well all season. Yeah, he had 1 interception up until like 2 weeks
I think he had 1 or 2 turnovers all year, so this is so...
He's played solid all year. To be fair, this whole Eagles team has just been off. And so that's why I'm not even... this loss, probably on Hurts, but the season being like this is really not on Hurts. I think this Eagles team is just... They're the same boat. They have no... It's not the same boat as the Chiefs because they have players. They just have no mojo. It just feels like this team is just like with the A.J. Brown stuff. Saquon, first game we've seen Saquon actually look good. And honestly, his biggest play was off of a really nice designed fake tush push, which was sweet. Besides that, Saquon hasn't done anything. The offensive line's been a little hurt. It's just not a good year for the Eagles.
I think the Eagles' issues boil down to, I think Kevin Tulo is a dumbass. I think he's a bad offense coordinator. And on top of that, maybe more damning than him being a bad OC, is Nick Sirianni. I liked him. Nick Sirianni, for him to not step in and, kind of control this offense, or at least, put his finger on the scale and, try to kind of right the ship, I think is a fireable offense. Even though he just won the Super Bowl. You gotta...
It is such an Eagles thing.
The most expensive
win the Super Bowl last year and then go egg your offensive coordinator's house halfway through this year. If the Lions win the Super Bowl... Bro, we could bring in anybody. It doesn't matter what we do for the next 2 years. We could bring in anybody and we go 0-16. We don't give a fuck. We won the Super Bowl. Who gives a shit?
I just think the O-line isn't that good anymore either. I think that's a part nobody really wants to admit. But that was the best offensive line in football by a mile last year. The Lions O-line was good. And I would say the Eagles O-line was decently better than even the Lions line. So Lane Johnson being another year older, being banged up, I don't know what else has happened to that line. I don't really follow the Eagles closely enough, but that O-line is just not there. Saquon doesn't have the same gaps anymore, so he looks worse, even though I don't think he has had a 2,000 yard to what we're seeing this year kind of drop off. It's just, I think there's too many issues, and the OC being bad and Nick Sirianni not doing shit about it is just the icing on the cake of this team sucks. But if they get good, I know they lost 3 straight, but if they get hot the next week or two, they can still easily win the Super Bowl, especially the way the NFC is and how the AFC's been playing. So, until they look this way in the playoffs, I'm not going to count them out. If it was a normal year and there was a team that was going to be 14-3, like the Rams, if they just went crazy or something. But I don't know. I think the Eagles are fine.
Well, Donnie, you say that. The Cowboys could still win the division,
2 games back. 2 games back, and they tied each other. So that's 1-1. So it comes down to division wins at that point. So...
They might not make the playoffs. You never know.
The thing with that is, the Cowboys looked good right before the Lions game, and, I was admittedly worried, and I literally picked the Cowboys. But 6 quarters before that Lions-Cowboys game kicked off, the Cowboys season was done. They were losing to the Eagles. They were getting shut out 21-0. They have a miracle comeback. Then they beat the Chiefs. Obviously, that's a great win. Then they went into that Lions game riding high. This is still a team that lost to the Cardinals. This is still a team that lost to the Panthers. And now the Panthers are better than what we thought. But at the time, we thought that was one of the worst losses of the year.
Eagles lost to the Giants.
I'm not just ready to say, okay, yeah, the Cowboys have 4 easy games. They're going to win all of them. I think they're still probably going to... To be
fair, Dallas says what he says. If you say that straight off rip, it's damn, 2 games back and they tied each other. So it's goes down to division wins. You'd be like, damn, Cowboys have a chance. And then you look at the Eagles' remaining 4 games. They play the Bills December 28th, not next week, but they play the Bills. That's going to be in Buffalo. That's going to be a fun game to watch, 4:25, probably America's Game of the Week. their other 3 games are Raiders, Commanders, Commanders. So yeah, something tragic needs to happen.
But I don't know. Like the Cowboys, I think are just. If I was 100% convicted that the Cowboys are going to win out, I would say you have a point. I just think the Cowboys are going to drop one of those games.
Only way Cowboys win the division is if they lose to the Bills, and then Geno Smith decides, you know what, it's my. I finally need to have a good game this season, and decides to throw 5 touchdowns out of nowhere. Because the Commanders have no chance.
Or good segue, if they bench Geno and they have a Super Bowl winning backup,
all right,
Dallas look good in the fourth quarter, and sneakily covered against the Broncos. So don't rule them out. Kenny Pickett.
Dallas is going to lead us in picks this week because our guy that usually starts us off is not here. So Dallas,
I get to do the whole spiel and everything. Let's go.
I swear to God, if
it's better. Donnie or Dallas, it's
God.
Dallas. It's fine as long as you don't do what Colin does at least 1 in every 10 games. And Donnie makes his pick. Donnie's like, "Yep, I'm going to go with the Eagles." And then Colin. Oh yeah, all right. It's Colin.
I think what makes me more mad is every time I make a pick, Colin goes, "Yeah, all right. Next."
Yeah, every time.
You don't have to say a starter. Just read the next game.
All right, let's get into the picks for Week 15, starting Thursday Night Football. Buccaneers versus the Falcons. I can't see the Buccaneers losing another game, especially in division. Kirk Cousins is absolutely dog water. Same with the Falcons. Don't know if Drake London's playing. Don't think it matters. Give me the Bucks.
Yeah, I don't think Drake London is playing. I think his injury's a bit rough. But yeah, the Falcons are. I know this doesn't matter much at all, more or less talking Dallas, but me and Donnie will be going to the Rams-Lions game in LA. We will be in LA and Vegas for all of the games from Thursday to Monday, so it should be pretty fun. Tampa Bay is in a rough spot, but the Falcons, already eliminated from the playoffs, are also in a rough spot. I think this game, Tampa Bay gets right. I think the Falcons are really bad. So yeah, I'll go with the Bucks here.
I mean, Falcons aren't eliminated. If they went out and the Bucks and the Panthers lose out,
no, they're eliminated.
They can't be eliminated.
They are. I just saw a thing where a guy made a bet of a bunch of teams to miss the playoffs, and the Falcons were green mark checked. So.
Yeah, because they're not going to make the playoffs. But
well, the FanDuel can't do that.
if the Bucks and the Panthers were to tie in both games, I think the Falcons could steal the division.
Oh,
anyway, yeah, kind of like what Marshall said. I think the Bucks are. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that team. They should not be playing this way. Like, it made sense that they lost to the Bills in the not the Lions, but that 3-game stretch they had that was real tough. That made sense. Now is the time they should be dominating. So it's real weird that they look bad against the Saints like that. But at home against the Falcons, they know they need this game. Divisional game, short week. I'm gonna go with the Bucks to right the ship.
All right. Heading to Cincinnati, we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Bengals. Both teams coming off of tough losses. Ravens coming off a tough loss in division. I can't see them losing another game to the Bengals. Give me the Ravens.
Also, real quick, teams eliminated from the playoffs are as following: Giants, Commanders, Titans, Saints, Raiders, Cardinals, Browns. Somehow the Falcons, they're eliminated, like I said, but the Jets actually got eliminated after the Falcons. Somehow the Falcons were eliminated before the Jets, which is crazy. But yes, Falcons are eliminated from the playoffs. If Cincinnati would have gotten the win like they were supposed to, they were up by 10 to Burrow through a stupid pick. It was a great snow game to watch. I'm glad I got to watch that game. It was a beautiful snow game.
The Winter Soldier strikes again, is all I'm saying.
I would have said Cincinnati was going to steal this game. I still kind of think, I don't know, dude. The Ravens just, like, they either play really good or they are just awful of football to watch. Like, Lamar just, it's not even just Lamar. Derrick Henry can't get going.
Yeah.
I think this man, John Harbaugh, got to be gone after this year. In Cincinnati, I'm going to say this is where the Steelers kind of walk away with the division a little bit. They play Miami this week. I'm going to go with Cincinnati winning this game. The offense still looks very good, and I think that's the one thing is that the Baltimore offense just, even though it's the Cincinnati defense, for whatever reason, cannot play ball right now. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think this is going to boil down to if the Ravens can slow down the Bengals on offense. The Bengals, in theory, should be kind of emotionally spent because they know they're not really going to make the playoffs unless a miracle happens at this point, basically. But, I mean, like, I also thought there was no way they were going to bring back Joe Burrow or he was going to play it all this year, and they forced him back to kind of make this little push. So, I mean, I guess I don't really know how to judge the Bengals right now. The Ravens offense, I think, is just awful. I think Lamar's playing bad. I think he's hurt, and it's just not being talked about that much. It means he's missed at least one day of practice since he's come back. That, and then I think the play calling's awful. I think Derrick Henry should be getting 30 touches a game, even at his age, and that's how they should be running the offense. But, I mean, I'm going to go with the Bengals to steal one here. I think the Steelers, like Marshall said, are going to wind that gap a little bit. I'll tell you what, though, if the Ravens don't win this game, you might as well shut down Lamar. Like, I think this is I know in theory they won't be out of it, but this is a do-or-die game for the Ravens. You lose this game, there's just no hope for that offense.
Speaking of no hope for the offense, we got Philadelphia versus the Raiders. Man, if there wasn't a get-right game for this Eagles offense, it ain't never going to happen the rest of the season, I'm going to be honest. I got to take the Eagles here, coming off of multiple losses in a row. Jalen Hurts coming off probably one of the worst statistical games ever. Yeah, Raiders, they're looking for that top 5 draft pick. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, 4 losses in a row, and they're back in Philly against the Raiders. Terrible. If Philly doesn't win, turn on the news, because Philly will burn to the ground if they don't win this football game. The stadium will crumble into pieces. They egged this man's offense coordinator's house after a loss a couple wins ago. Yeah. Imagine what they'll do if they lose to the Raiders at home.
I'm really hoping. I like the Eagles, but I am really hoping for chaos scenario. I want this game to be 7-3 Raiders at the half. And I want the stadium to lose their fucking mind when they go on for the half.
Everybody get on World Stars Twitter. Everybody get on World Stars Twitter, because you're going to see any Raiders fan that's in that stadium get jumped immediately. But as much as that would be crazy, realistically going, I think this is a big get-right game for the Eagles after a really bad Monday night performance. Raiders are just bad. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping for chaos the way the Eagles have been playing, but I'm more shocked that they're 11.5-point favorite. I don't know if they're going to score 10 points in this game. So, but the Raiders are awful, obviously. I'm easily going to go with the Eagles. But I think this is a game they need a 35-3 win. They need a mojo boost, big time.
Going from a struggling offense to a flourishing defense, the Houston Texans take on the Cardinals. I think this is one of the best defenses in the NFL right now. You can compare it to the Broncos, but I think the Texans win this one with ease. Give me the Texans over the Cardinals.
Yeah, someone tweeted out, Texans play the Colts in a couple weeks. If the Texans defense plays against Phillip Rivers, that man might never get to make the Hall of Fame, because that man might be dead.
Playing the field.
Yeah, that would be that'd be crazy. The spread's 9.5 for this game. I do think the Texans will win 9.5, just with Jacoby Brissett and a team that I feel like can score.
I feel like that's a late cover.
Yeah, I feel like the Cardinals will probably score a absolute garbage time touchdown to cover that. But I do think the Texans will win at home. They're on a roll, and this defense is crazy. All that offenses do is got to score a couple points. I mean, literally last week it was a dead game, and all of a sudden Nico Collins caught a crazy jump ball. That's really all that offense needs, because this defense is disgusting. So yeah, I'll go with the Texans.
Yeah, I don't believe in the Texans' offense at all, but that defense is just otherworldly right now. I think they not only win this game, I think they come back and they steal the division from the Jags. I think they're red hot. If that offense can just score 14 a game,
man, don't let Rivers get hot.
I think I'm not. If the Texans give them 14 points a game down the stretch, I think the defense will get it done. Like, they just need 14. They average 14. I'm convinced the Texans are going to win.
Did you see Jalen Petrie's hit on Rashee Rice in
the
Chiefs Seasons game? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
That was disgusting.
Finally someone's using the Guardian cap right.
Someone said he fled the scene just like Rashee Rice did.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I saw now Rashee Rice knows what it's like to get hit in a high-speed collision, and just the person responsible just walk away. Some shit like that.
So, Donnie, you picked the Texans as well, just to make sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to another divisional matchup, the 6-7 Chiefs. Who would have ever thought that would have been the record for the Chiefs this year? Go against the Chargers. Justin Herbert, broken hand, got the dub against the Eagles last week. I said this a couple weeks ago, probably like near the beginning of the season. Justin Herbert might be one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the NFL. Bro had 70 rushing yards last week. I can't see the Chiefs beating this Chargers team right now. This Chiefs team is in shambles. The O-line's beat up, and I can't see where the Chargers lose this. Like, it's a 50-50 game in my eyes, especially in Arrowhead, but I got the Chargers burying the Chiefs, finally eliminating them from the playoffs.
It's in Arrowhead. The Chargers are a very up and down team with how they perform. I don't know why. Because it's in Kansas City, I'm actually going to go with Kansas City for this one.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Yeah, the Chiefs, I said last week, this was do or die for them against the Texans. And the Texans were hot, but I said the Chiefs, in a moment they need it, they're going to get it. Backs against the wall. I think their backs are against the wall, but in terms of, they're just cowering. I don't think there's anything left. I like Mahomes, I like Kelsey, but I think the rest of this team is just a shell of what they were 3-4 years ago. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers, and it's crazy to think they're going to sweep the Chiefs, that they have a chance to sweep the Chiefs, but I picked Eagles against the Chargers, and Justin Herbert gutted out a win, so I think he could do that to a team that's less than the Eagles. I would go with the Chargers.
Chiefs dynasty might be dead, and the Patriots dynasty might be coming back. We got the Patriots versus the Bills, another great divisional matchup. However, the Patriots are due for a loss, man. They're on this nice, I think it's like a 10-game win streak. I feel like they're just due for a loss, and I can't see them beating the Bills twice in a year. I got to go with Josh Allen and the Bills. I think this run game for the Bills is going to carry them this game, get them the dub. It's going to be nice in a one-score game, nice gritty game. I think this is going to be one of the better games of the week.
Excuse me. The Patriots at home are underdogs. It's a 1.5-point favorite to the Bills away, which is kind of surprising.
I think that's solely because both of the Patriots' 2 losses have come at home, and that they beat the Bills earlier, and I think most people think that they're not going to sweep the Bills, is where that line comes from.
Yeah, they beat the Bills earlier in the year. This is I'm going to go with New England here. In New England, I don't know. This is going to be a good game to have on the TV. I don't know. This is scary. I'm going to go with New England, though.
I feel like you can't go wrong picking either team here.
No, you really can't.
I mean, it is only a 1.5 spread. This isn't much of a toss-up as you're going to get. Which is weird because on DraftKings or on ESPN, DraftKings, they use their lines. The Bills are favored by a 1.5, but New England is the favorite on the money line, which literally doesn't make sense.
That's weird.
Directly does not make any sense. But anyway, I really want to say that I don't think the Bills are going to get swept. They've owned the Patriots for the last 3, 4, 5 years since Brady left. So, in theory, I think the Bills should win. I don't believe in the Bills team, man. I know last week was a good win against the Bengals, but to take that long and need 2 big Joe Burrow mistakes to beat that Bengals team at home, I just don't. For whatever reason, I don't think they have enough outside of Josh Allen to be a top-tier contender. And the Patriots at home, I just see the Patriots getting it done.
All right. Still in the AFC, we have the Jets going to Jacksonville to face the Jags. I think this is an easy Jags pick. The quarterback for the Jets was an unknown player last week, so we're going to stick with the Jags here, getting an easy win.
Yeah, it's Jags, no question. They are favored by 12.5 this game. Division is up in the air for kind of anybody in that division right now, so yeah, I'm going with the Jags. Don't pick the Jets again, man. Don't do it. It's fucked you.
The line opened up at -9.5 for the Jags, and it's already moved to 12.5. For us to be recording on a Tuesday, that is a crazy amount of line movement in a 2-3 day span. Man, I don't know what it is about this Jets team. I always want to pick them. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Man, I hate the Jets. I don't like Justin Fields. It makes no sense that I'm
Justin Fields ain't even playing.
I know, but in the back of my mind, for me to root for the Jets makes no fucking sense. But with Fields being out and mainly Tyrod Taylor being out, that's the big one. With him being out, this Jags defense is on a roll. I will give them that. That's what's winning them most of these games. In Jacksonville, I am reluctantly going to go against the Jets.
Reluctantly against the 3-10.
I just think the Jets are. I just think Aaron
I hope
Rodgers.
the Jets. I hope the Jets.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think a big part of it is I just think Aaron Glenn's a good dude, and like I want to see him do better than what he's doing. I think he's doing awful. That team's bad, but I just want to see him win like a good game.
Moving into the NFC, we got another divisional matchup. The New York Giants host the Commanders. Commanders did lose Jaden Daniels again.
What a game
last week.
This is worst game of the year contender right here.
I feel like this could be a good spot for Jackson Dart to potentially win Offensive Rookie of the Year, having a good performance in this game. I don't even know. He might be the favorite. He might not. This rookie class has been kind of underwhelming in terms of because of injury for the most part. Because Emeka Ibuka was obviously the clear-on favorite. He gets hurt. Jackson Dart steps in. He gets hurt. Marion Hampton had a chance. He gets hurt. Like, everyone's getting hurt in this rookie class. Shador might have a chance at winning. Who knows?
The only good guy who's been healthy all year and been playing well all year is Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren. I forgot about Tyler Warren.
I think with Sam Laporta not winning it and Brock Bowers not winning it, I don't think they're giving it to a tight end. I don't think they want it.
With that being said, I'm gonna go with the Giants here. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think this is like one of those sneaky, like, oh man, did you see that game? No, but look at the highlights. It was kind of fire, but it could also be a dumpster fire.
I think we already had that game with the Browns Titans. Like, hey, that was actually a game. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this game. Just give me the Giants.
Like Dal said, I shit on this game when he first brought it up. I do see this being like a 45-42 for no reason. It's a great game, and Jackson Dart has like 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that being said, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think Marcus Mariota is cool, but there's a reason he's back up, so I'm going to go with the Giants.
All right. Chicago Bears host the Cleveland Browns. I've seen weather conditions with the wind chill -20, so this is going to be a cold game. Bears coming off of a tough loss against the Packers. I don't see him losing to the Browns. He's just so hard to sack, so I don't think Myles Garrett's going to get any closer to that sack record after this game. I think he's going to stay the same. Give me the Bears and a nice 10-point win. As
much as we need the Bears to lose here, it's probably not going to happen here, unfortunately. I'm glad Shedeur Sanders is playing. I feel like with every quarterback on that team, he'll give him the best option to maybe go and sneak a win out. So, unfortunately, though, I will be going with the Bears.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I have been the biggest Bears fan, if you can call it that, going into the year. Like, I thought they were going to win the division. I've not been a fan, obviously, but I thought they were going to be good, and they've been pretty good. But I'm not going to lie. A cold game where it's potentially snowy, if you're writing up a script for the Browns to win a game, it would be a cold, windy, snowy game. Like, that's kind of the Browns' MO. That's how they got to win games, is games like that. I'm shocked that they got carved up against the Titans, so I shouldn't be doing this. But I just see the Browns gutting out a win. Obviously, the Bears should win, but I just see the Browns sneaking out a 14-10 win for no fucking reason in Chicago.
All right, moving on to the 4 o'clock slate, I guess 4:25. Starting off with the Panthers, who are currently in lead for the division against the Saints. Saints did beat the Bucks last week, but I think this Panthers team is it's too hot right now. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think they're going to keep rolling, potentially winning the division at the end of the season.
Coming off a bye week, that I think is huge. Late in the season, too. Bryce Young can't be stopped. Give me the Panthers.
Man, I'm really hoping for the Saints to win this game and just completely keep fucking up the division for the Panthers and the Bucks. But I just don't see them pulling off a win against a solid team back-to-back weeks. The Panthers are very streaky, so I could definitely see them dropping this game. But I mean, even in New Orleans, I'm going to go with the Panthers.
All right, America's game of the week. The Detroit Lions head into Los Angeles to face the MVP favorite in Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I think this is going to be a tough, gritty game for both sides. I could see high-scoring game, honestly. The Lions offense is seemingly back for now. We'll see against this Rams defense. However, Matthew Stafford is on a tear. I think this is his season to win MVP. I could see him putting up 3, maybe 4 touchdowns up against us. Give me the Los Angeles Rams.
I have picked right for the Lions games for the past 6 weeks. If I pick against Detroit, that team wins. If I pick for Detroit, Detroit wins.
Do what you got to do.
Gotta pick Detroit here.
Yep.
I gotta go with the Lions. I need them to win. I want them to win. I'll be at the game. Need it. Go Lions.
Yeah, it is so fucking tough. I mean, last time the Lions traveled out to LA to face the Rams, I was actually at that game. It was Stafford's first year in LA. He shit on us. That was Cooper Kupp in his prime. I think Cooper Kupp had like 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely murdered us, but that was a whole lifetime ago, it feels like. The Lions they control their own destiny, as we know. But this Rams team, man, Stafford's playing so well. And for the Lions secondary to be so gutted, I think a big key is Kirby. If Kirby does not play, Stafford could set records on Sunday. And Kirby has been kind of mysterious with his injury this whole time, so I'm going to bank on him not playing. I'm going to go with the Lions losing to the Rams in LA, but with me picking Chicago, me picking the Browns, I really think that's going to happen. So I think the Lions lose. I think we're mad. But with the Bears losing that game, I think we're a little bit less mad. We lose a game we're supposed to lose. They lose a game they're not supposed to lose. I think we lose, but we come out of the day feeling well.
I can definitely see that as a positive for sure. Getting into the Seahawks versus the Colts. Colts might be running Phillip Rivers out there. We still don't know. I don't know if it's not been confirmed yet. This is Tuesday as we're recording this. But I don't think it matters who they throw out there. The Seahawks team is pretty damn good. One of the most underrated defenses, I think, in the NFL. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, if they made this man, if Phillip Rivers plays, he lives in Alabama. They made this man hop on a flight from Bama to Indy. And then they're like, yeah, you're playing, get in there. And has to fly all the way to Washington. Bro, that man, that's awful. That's a poor 44-year-old man, too, that they're putting this through.
A lot of travel.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even if Daniel Jones probably played, the Seahawks team is disgusting. So I'm going to go with Seattle either way. But if Rivers is playing, Jonathan Taylor over 200 yards, but also over 30 carries on top of that.
I mean, fuck, I don't think it matters who's at quarterback. The key is going to be Jonathan Taylor to touch the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
Whether it's a screen pass or whatever, I think that's their only path now. If you didn't know any news going into this week and you just looked at the Lions, the Seahawks are a 14-point favorite against the Colts.
Holy
and if you look at it, the Colts are 8-5, the Seahawks are 10-3. You would be like, how big of a home field advantage do the Seahawks have? Holy fucking shit. But, like, obviously we know the Colts are going to be either rolling out. I can't remember their practice squad quarterback's name. I want to say Tyson Badgett, but I know that's the Bears backup. But I know the name is similar to that. It's either going to be that or an old man Phillip Rivers, which I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's realistic to ask him to play. That's not fair to a senior citizen.
Elderly abuse right there.
I think he plays for them. I don't think he plays this week. I think this week you let the young kid get the shit beat out of him against a really good Seattle defense. If I was the Colts, I'd just try to get out healthy. That would be my end goal. So I will go with the Seahawks to demolish the Colts at home.
Moving on to the Broncos versus the Packers. This should be another game that I think is going to be really close. This one, however, I think is going to be very low scoring. Broncos, I think, are due for a loss. In all honesty, Packers are kind of rolling right now. I've always wanted to compare recently Jordan Love to Josh Allen in the sense of the roller coaster that is Josh Allen. You get the great highs, the low lows. Statistically, Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback, but he gives you bottom 10 quarterback interceptions. Take that how you want. You can argue with your mama. That's fine. Give me the Packers.
You know this man, Donnie, really hates Jordan Love because he's not even a big Josh Allen fan, and you compare Jordan Love and Josh Allen, his eyes got huge there. We need Denver to win this game. This would be huge, especially since we lost twice to the Packers in Denver. Packers are still favored, though. I'm going to go with the Packers. The Lions telling me the Packers will probably sneak out this win, a win that they don't deserve probably, another wild win. Yeah, I'm going with the Packers.
Worst part is I agree with what Dallas said. Like Josh
know.
Allen.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, they are the same in this fact and this fact alone. Jordan Love, his lows are like he's a roller coaster. Either he's playing well or he's playing awful. The difference is I think his roller coaster up is Josh Allen's like 10% capability game. And Jordan Love's worst is like Josh Allen if he had 2 broken legs and 2 broken arms. That's what I think the difference is.
Well, I never said they were 1-for-1 comparable.
I'm just saying, just hearing Jordan Love, I'm going to compare to Josh Allen made my brain fucking short circuit. Anyway, I get the Broncos are like a fraudulent 11-2, but the fact that Green Bay is favored in Denver blows.
I didn't know that.
They're a field goal favorite.
That
shit blows my mind.
That is crazy.
And like, the one thing the Packers have going for them going into this game is all the Packers' losses have come against teams they should not lose against, like the Panthers and the Browns. And like, I get that. And they've won against the good team. So like, it makes sense they won against another good team. But on the road in Denver with that Denver defense, I just don't see how they're favored. I think the Broncos are going to win. I'm going to say they're going to win easily. I think it's a touchdown game that they're just kind of always in control of. But I don't believe in the Packers. But man, I really don't believe in them to just win in Denver against that team. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Man, seeing the Broncos being the favorite,
you went Green Bay, Dallas?
I did go Green Bay.
Okay, I'll just make sure.
I might Broncos.
Well, Colin might pick the Broncos, honestly.
I feel like Colin's going back.
I'm ready to Colin for a tie.
I'm going to say, well, we're pretty good. And there was one player that actually played for MSU on the Packers practice squad. So,
moving on to 49ers Titans. Give me the 49ers.
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, the Titans got their win that they've been due for a minute, which means they'll probably lose out the rest of the season. So give me the 49ers.
Titans have 2 wins that they shouldn't have got either of them. The one with the Cardinals falling the fuck apart, and the other one with the Browns defense forgetting that they are the Browns defense. What's crazy is that the 49ers are less of a favorite against the Titans at home than what Seattle is against the Colts at home. And like, I know the Colts don't have a quarterback, but like, the rest of the team's good. So that's just fucking crazy to me. But yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers pretty easily, which sucks because I want the 49ers to lose too.
I was about to say, if the Titans win, we all need to buy Cam Ward jerseys because the 49ers are fighting for that wild card spot with us.
Whatever team wins out of the Bears and 49ers 2 weeks from now is going to be the team we need to lose for us to make the playoffs.
It sucks because the teams that are like in that wild card spot that we kind of need to lose are the Seahawks, who play a no quarterback Colts, and then the Niners, who play the Titans. And then you got the Bears who play the Browns, the Packers. That's an okay game against Denver. So it's like, man, all the teams that we need to lose, I play easy-ass teams this week.
The good news is, I don't know about the 49ers for sure, but after this week, the Bears have a tough schedule.
Yes.
Seattle, I don't know either, but I don't think we should be chasing Seattle. I think Seattle has the 5 spot pretty locked up. So mentally, I don't even care about Seattle. But like, I'm going to consider it a huge dub if the 49ers or the Bears choke this week and drop a game they absolutely should win. So that's what I'm rooting for. Just one of those two to fuck it up.
All right, moving on to Sunday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Minnesota Vikings in Dallas. Man,
me and Donnie talked about, obviously, because we're going to the game, we want it to happen. They should have flexed Lions Rams to Sunday Night Football instead of this game.
Yeah,
game, before we even talk about it, this game makes me hate the media. Lions Rams should 1,000,000% be Sunday Night Football, or if you don't want to make it Lions Rams, because I know that's been a primetime game and a playoff game recent memory. Why is Broncos Packers not Sunday Night Football? That would be much better.
Or even Buffalo
Bills,
Patriots.
Yeah,
Bills.
Oh my God,
Chargers.
This is literally, there's 16 games because I don't think any team's on a bye this week.
Nope,
this is a bottom 5 matchup of the week. Yeah. Like I don't want to see this game at all.
You could even put Seahawks Colts. I would love to watch Philip Rivers see what he can do.
Legit, man. Like this is. I thought for sure this was going to get flexed for the Lions Rams. But then I saw the ad on Sunday night for them advertising this week, and I was just mad. I'm like, do we really have to suck the Cowboys off this much? Like, come the fuck on. But Whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I just think this offense of the Cowboys is still elite. I think they're gonna get the dub.
Yeah, this is just a game that it doesn't matter really. Like,
Yeah,
Vikings are out of it really. Cowboys are kind of out of it, kind of in it. So I think this Cowboys team needs a huge bounce back win after their loss, and the Vikings got a huge win last week, so they'll drop another one here. So give me the Cowboys.
I mean, like I said, this is the most who gives a fuck game of the week for me. The Cowboys should win. Everything's telling me the Cowboys should win. The Cowboys open up as 7.5-point favorites, and it's down to less than 6 points. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to let that sway me. I think the Vikings end the Cowboys season this week, which in theory they can still make the playoffs by winning their division. I think the Cowboys are going to lose, and the Eagles are going to win their matchup, and this is going to be a moot point. So give me the Vikings to end the Cowboys.
Donnie, rooting for another J.J. McCarthy legacy game.
Nope,
Moving on to the final.
Aaron Jones in that defense going to get it done.
Moving on to the final game, Monday Night Football. Steelers hosting the Dolphins. We've said it for years. Tua turning the ball over, cannot play in the cold. Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, they really hated primetime this week. They said, we're going to flex every other week. But week 15, you guys have to suffer. Like, Bucks are going to be cool to watch, kind of, but they've been on a huge downslope. So they're like, but they're facing the Falcons. And you give us Dallas and the Vikings, and then you give us Pittsburgh and Dolphins. It's like, they just didn't care this week. Like, they did not care at all. Yeah. Honestly, this is, as much as I shit on this game, the Dolphins are a very explosive team. Like, just with Devon A-Chain, you've still got Waddle. Like, they can be explosive if they need to, and the Steelers team has been so up and down. I think this might be the best out of the primetime games. This game could be sneaky good. Part of me wants to go the Dolphins here just to absolutely put that division. Everyone's like, oh, Steelers took the lead, and then they're like, fuck, what the hell happened? I really want to go Miami.
If the Dolphins win, they are in a playoff hunt. Like, they're in the hunt right now. If they win this game, like, I think this will be their 5th straight win or their 4th straight win.
They'd be 7-7.
They would be like, I wouldn't bet on them to make the playoffs, but they would like be. The Chiefs are in the thick of it at 6-6. I think it's fair to say the Dolphins could be in the thick of it at 7.
Steelers only 3.5-point favorites at home, which makes it an even game. If you think
these Dolphins are red hot.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Miami. I think they've been red hot, and this Steelers team, I just sometimes can't get it going. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins lost to the Ravens that 28-6 game where they moved the ball and they just couldn't score points. Since then, they've beat the Bills, they beat the Commanders in Madrid, they beat the Saints, they beat the Jets, which most of those teams aren't good, admittedly. But, yeah, they're just red hot. And I saw – never mind, I'm not going to bring it up. Anyway, I don't know, I just kind of like this Steelers team. I don't know what it is. They just, like, grit out wins or they look awful. There's no in between, but, like, they always seem to just – I don't know. Like, fucking Mike Tomlin is like a wizard. And they'll look like shit for 2 weeks, and then they'll be great. It makes no fucking sense. I feel like this is weird. I feel like this game is tied to the Ravens game. I feel like if the Ravens lose a game they should win against the Bengals, that the Steelers will lose because they let their guard down. But I feel like if the Ravens somehow beat the Bengals the day before, the Steelers will be like on high alert and they're going to win this game. You know what I mean? Like,
you picked the Bengals, so.
Didn't you also pick the Bengals, Marshall?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have this. I'm not going the same logic as Donnie, so it might doesn't matter.
Sometimes
I'm saying he picked going off of his logic. I'm not saying he picked the Bengals as a bad thing. I'm saying going off his logic, he picked the Bengals, which means he should pick Miami.
I just vividly remember you saying, I'm picking the Bengals so that way the Steelers extend their lead on the division just to lose this game.
Well, probably might have contradicted myself, but screw it. I didn't honestly realize that the Dolphins were kind of rolling like this until I got to this game. So
hey, the Dolphins are red hot. Then they got to go play in the cold. That's all I'm saying.
That is fair, because after this week, they have the Bengals at home, then they have the Bucks at home, then they finish the year at the Patriots, which that's going to be tough. Even if they are in line for a playoff spot, they're just going to get the soul sucked out of them.
The Patriots, depending on how these next couple weeks go, might not play their starters.
The Patriots could start fucking Brian Hoyer at quarterback, who's also 55 years old.
MSU legend.
It would...
Colin would be proud.
Wrap it up.
Who's your pick?
I'm going with the Steelers. Wrap it up. Let's get this pot over with.
That's the picks, man.
That ruined my mood. I was gonna say it doesn't matter who they start because the Dolphins and the Colts, like Dallas said, are bad. So they could start. The Patriots could start their third string guys and still win. But the MSU legend took the fire out of my vitriol. I don't care. Fuck this game. I hate football.
Oh man, that was for you, Colin. Shout out to Colin, man. And that's the picks.
God, this fucking sport.
No trivia this week. I'm trying to go to bed. I'm ready.
Yeah, I can get that. I'm not feeling it anyway. So,
Colin, shut the fuck up. God, I hate that fucking Weasley fucking watermelon fuck. Let's go. Wrap this shit up.
All right.
Colin, if you're watching back, I want you to know to go fuck yourself. I do not fuck with you. Get us out of this bitch. I fucking hate football.
Man, it's a good day. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please like, subscribe, comment. We are at 141 subscribers. Thank you guys all to subscribe. Shout out Dallas for editing these podcasts every single week. We're uploading videos every single week up until the Super Bowl. So appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.